I sent you all a message during the break.
Yep.
You are not to reveal that to each other.
Yay!
One of you knows for obvious reasons. Why not?
You were real excited about this. You were percolating on it.
So who's venting?
The vents aren't quite that big in this house, unfortunately.
Okay, so Freddie and Gabriella, you both head into the study, and you see a few artifacts in there. 15 to be exact.
Okay.
Plus the wand that was on the floor in the room.
Do we have the wand?
Yes, the wand is in your possession.
Okay, just making sure. Oh boy.
You enter in, and it is on the left wall is all books leading into the front wall, into the wall facing you, which is again all books. There are desks around, all with these artifacts lined on them, with a red carpet in the middle of the room. And there's a whole bunch of ornamental stuff, a desk to be sat at, very ornate thing. You imagine that there's paperwork and other such things within it, but you also think that this is probably where Charles Amesley would be every night that he was here working on probably tearing up the world, his oil, and other things. Gabriella, you also think, I did have to mail him here in Scotland at one point. Probably returned by mail from here.
I almost let it kind of feel strange that before all of the nightmares started, this was like a normal person. Because that probably just feels kind of eerie.
Do you go through the desk at all?
Oh yeah, I want to check it out, see if there's anything. Maybe he left behind cryptic warnings, I'm sure. Who doesn't love a good cryptic warning?
You find a whole bunch of letters that are pinned. One set is to Deckard, one set is to Victoria, one set is to you.
Oh god. Hope Victoria's okay. Alive at least, but at the start.
You find one that is unsent to you.
Yeah, it would have been after. Check the post date and I take a little letter knife and open it.
When you open it. Gabriella, I'm hoping that we'll be able to meet soon. I'm going through a hard time, and I think I will need your counsel after all. You've been such a good friend to me after all of these years. And after all of our correspondence, I would hope that we could have a more client-patient relationship. I know that I will need your services here soon. There are things in my life that I can't explain anymore. Moments of my life that I feel like I've forgotten. I don't even remember how my wife looked. I might also be addicted to drugs. There's been this yellow powder that I can't remember taking, but it seems that I inhale it through my nose. There's no more after that.
He was just as much a victim as the rest of us. I look for like any kind of journal or anything that would explain maybe like notices of his first contact while waiting for artifact review. I don't know much about ancient spooky artifacts, unfortunately.
We'll come back to you in just a second. Freddie,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll an appraise for me.
I can do that. Ayo, another hard success.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Nice.
You're looking at the artifacts. You know this is probably going to take a while. Like a couple of days, a while. But the first one that you look at is not worth your time. You realize it's just like, oh, it's just a vase from Italy. You identify that it's probably a Roman vase. You're not quite sure why it's here. It seems very evident that it shouldn't.
Looks at it. Roman Empire, what am I, some man? Chucks keeps going.
it It breaks, and it wasn't worth anything either. It looks like where they put like all the chamber pot stuff.
Yeah.
Next, you come across the wand. Gabriella put it down, and you go over it, and it looks a lot older than the vase ever could be. You see inscriptions on it in a language that you're very unfamiliar with, but you've seen before. It seems like an ancient Celtic.
Yeah, sets that off to the side.
The third one that you're able to look at, and this is taking you a span of 15 minutes apiece, just going over it, making sure you are checking the inscriptions. With the wand, it was just like looking at the woodwork on it, looking at how, while very nice and while looks very powerful and ornate, it's very rough, and you can feel the texture in your hand of the wood. But it's also a very hefty piece. But you feel like you could just flick it around in your hand all day.
Don't do it.
Now the next one, it's a book. And while it's not very old, it is written in Spanish. And as you're going through it, do you read Spanish at all?
I do not.
I do. You would know this.
Would you like to bring Gabriella over?
Yeah, she'll give I can't whistle, do like a sharp little whistle, like, Oi! ¿Y habla español?
See, my parents kept me up to date-ish. Granted, most of my clients speak English, but I haven't lost the touch for it.
Right. You read this? Holds out the book.
Oh, yeah, I peep over. What does it say?
Roll sanity.
Oh no!
Of course it wasn't
It's rap.
free.
No!
You should have learned from what happened last time I read a book.
That's true. Reading is evil, and everyone should stop. There's nothing in a book that's worth your time.
Lovecraft would be proud that this game punishes reading and knowledge.
There's a game called Frog Detective where the main character is a frog detective, and he talks all about how reading is actually dumb and everything you read is false. And the developer steps in and goes, "The views of Frog Detective do not reflect myself. Reading books is okay sometimes." But I agree with Frog Detective today. Reading books is bad, actually.
As someone who
this
writes
one-
books, I am offended by that. I have
As
two
someone
that
who
you
writes
should go
books,
read.
you take the sanity damage.
Yeah, what if I read them and I get psychic damage? The risk is too high.
You will cry.
Oh,
I have a
just
running
psychic
tally
damage.
of how many people I've made cry with The Desolation Among the Stars and The Buried Stars. You will cry.
Link
Oh, it
in
is
the
psychic
description,
damage.
I think. Maybe.
As writers and creatives, is it just our point to be sadistic assholes to our characters and to our readers?
I signed up for this,
Yes.
so I'm okay. I failed, by the way, like a catastrophic, well, not catastrophic, but like a pretty bad
Roll a
failure.
d6.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
6!
Ooh.
I got so much sanity back when we started, and it's all it's flushing down the toilet.
Yeah. To quote one of my jokes from my home games, I know it's a role-playing game, but what role am I playing? The fucking victim?
The victim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
The
man.
fucking victim?
Really, really going from Bloodborne to this.
I pulled my book finally out of storage.
Ooh.
I am so excited. This is the first time I pulled it out since I started all this moving nonsense.
Very cool.
Yay.
We love to see it.
Huzzah!
Okay. Grimoires. Tomes of Eldritch Lore. And Basidiogre.
Today's sanity check brought to you by the what is it, the fish one? The Ishmar...
Oh, Innsmouth.
Yeah,
Fish
Innsmouth.
people.
Ishmouth Fish Cattery. For that taste of insanity with your canned tuna.
And it's not just the mercury or the microplastics, but a secret third thing.
Monster spores.
Sanity 152. Basidiogre and you.
No! I hate that.
Can I just say I've missed this game? Lizzie is absolutely not okay right now, but I'm having a blast, and I've missed this game.
Go ahead and make me an intelligence roll real quick.
Sure.
I haven't done that in a while.
Come on, brain. Is there, like, any chance I can use a relevant stat?
That's the one you wanted to fail.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fair.
You super failed.
Yeah, what if it, like, turns back around and I fail, I read it so badly it makes too much sense.
Yeah, no, that's the one you wanted to fail because that's if you succeed the intelligence, you actualize what you just saw.
Oh, no. It's fine. It's fine.
Congratulations, you've gaslit
I
yourself
myself
this time.
Yeah!
The title reads something like Bassi Pro NU.
Okay.
You just think that it's worthless.
It might be something, but nothing that I'm seeing from it looks like it could be important. At least, it's just written very strangely. I can't really make heads or tails of it. Keep it if you wish, but I don't know how much help it will be.
You chuck it down on the table. You want to get as far away from it as possible.
It does give me bad vibes, though, if that's helpful.
I mean, puts in the maybe pile.
There's the yes pile, the maybe pile, and then a pile of broken shards.
We'll go back downstairs now. Finley, Lizzie, and Father Blackwell, you make it halfway down the stairs when you hear...
Lizzie's already shaking, and she just freezes. That's not a noise this house makes.
I mean, of course. I mean,
Come, sweet morsels. We await you in the dining room.
Let's go back upstairs. Let's go back upstairs.
No. I truly insist, and you see this web just form on the stairs.
Entree, get on the dining plate if you please.
Oh,
Nope.
This place is bad news.
This is the perfect moment. The only thing to combat, like, just pure insanity and to keep yourself sane, Finley is just going to remember the words from his grandfather. Finley! Remember the poem! And Finley just starts reciting the Jabberwocky poem to himself over and over and over again. You just hear him say, "'Twas Brillig and the slothy toves, did gyre and gimble in the wabe."
I'm backing up the stairs away from the web.
I know, the web is on the top of the stairs.
Covering the entirety of the stairs, or...
Yes. Roll spot hidden, as the room is quite dark. What does the darkness hide?
I don't want to know.
Thanks, I hate it.
Maybe someone has a better spot hidden than me. Because that was bad. And I do not have enough luck.
Don't mind them. They are quite useful minions. You need not see them.
Gabriella? Freddy?
Oh, and they can't hear you. I've made quite sure of that. They're safe for now. But let's see how dinner goes.
She's just staring at Blackwell like, what?
I have an idea of what this might be. It might be a contact of a contact for you.
Which contact do we have in common?
Gwen.
Okay, I feel slightly better about that.
You shouldn't.
That's why I said slightly. I've also been avoiding her for the past 2 years.
Do you know her true nature?
I have suspicions, but it's not something I've ever asked.
Come now. I'm getting a little bit peckish, and you are late for dinner. Your staff was already so delicious. They're fine. They'll survive. I just took le petit.
The shaking has turned to rage. And Lizzie's going to turn and stalk her way down to the dining room.
Oh, welcome in. Well, it is your home, so I guess thank you for welcoming us.
I don't remember giving you an invitation.
Well, your brother sure did. Quite a long time ago. This has been really our home, too.
What do I see when I walk into the dining room?
You don't see anything. There is nobody there. Except for Robert and Gabriel sitting in chairs, unconscious.
I'm going quickly to try and check that they are okay. I'm assuming that Finley and Father Blackwell have followed me.
Yes, Father Blackwell goes to Gabriel, you go to Robert. Would you like anything to drink? I see that you have pretty good whiskey and good wine storage. Ooh, wine. And you see a glass of wine start to drop down in front of you, Finley.
Just a bite, the claws to catch.
That's a very catchy poem. A new associate of mine used to speak it quite a bit.
You will not break my mind. What do you want?
Well, I want what you have in that study up there. But I do not want to take it by force. I do not wish to create more enemies tonight. I am simply just an information gatherer. I care not for fighting. Gwyn said that my prize would be upstairs, but come. You are hungry, I hear your tummy is grumbling.
What exactly has my brother promised you?
Oh, just sanctuary. And all the information that we could want.
Finley's panicking, looking left or right, and he's just remembering the last thing that his grandfather told him. It is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. Don't do this unless it's the last resort and if you are worried for your friend's safety and yourself. I want to make a deal.
Ooh, I like deals.
I want to make a deal.
Alright, what are you offering?
You want what's in the study or the artifacts, no?
I want one of the artifacts. Gwyn has called for it. You feel just eyes upon you, though you cannot see them in the dark. But it's coming from above you.
I have very carefully sat down next to Robert. I pulled my chair back, far enough to where my legs are not actually under the table, and I'm assuming he's still alive. I'm just, keeping my hands on his wrists so I can try and continue to, feel his pulse, make sure he's still conscious. Well, not dead.
He's alive.
This wine's really not helping, I mean. Could you possibly bring me a bottle of some very strong whiskey?
He drops a bottle of whiskey on what looks to just be a string. And then the cork comes off and it's caught by another string. And you see this shot glass drop down and it pours into the shot glass.
This would be cool if it was literally any other game.
Now, I imagined you. He takes the shot and just runs his hand through his hair. When he runs his hand over his face, he has his poker face on, but inside he's just screaming in the back of his head. Now, what artifact you're looking for? It sounds like it could just be a smaller game. What if we had more for you?
I really only want the one. Again, I'm not looking to create enemies tonight.
Oh.
Little Lazarus.
I don't like.
And what is it you're looking for?
Well, there's a chalice up there that was taken from us by your foolish brother. I just wish to see it returned. I know that you lot are not in the mind of taking things for your own personal gain, You're trying as hard as we are to keep the things in the dark. I can also teach you a small thing about dealing with that yellow powder that you've come across. Father Blackwell, I know you have it.
I'm sorry, I have been a terrible host. I've never got your name. What can I call you?
We have many names. We prefer Spider, though some may call us Nosferatu.
Fine names. But you said you prefer Spider?
Either or is fine, really. And you see a light flash, and you just see about dozens of human-like things holding onto the walls with their arms stretched backwards like spiders, with gaunt faces and fangs. And on the ceiling you see the biggest one, with 8 arms, human arms, no doubt, all with the black little hairs that spiders have on them, and all with the eyes. And the light fades. Rossetti.
I was just waiting for that.
Oh yay! I was.
Oof.
Yeah, that's. Sounds about parkour.
Lizzie's also starting to figure out some things about Gwen. We both failed.
Roll 1d6.
There's a 2.
3.
Okay. We are the collective. We are the mind. The information gatherers of the society.
Tell me more about this chalice. Maybe if we know more, we can help find it easier.
I'm not sure your brother has it, but if he does, it'll look just like a normal cup. It was part of the court, you see. Part of the King Arthur's court, Gwyn's court, the Undying court.
It's fine.
Like, I
These
see you
young
over there.
senses are just.
Oh, I didn't quite real. That does explain some things about Gwen. I'm just learning all sorts of things about people today.
Yes.
Are you okay, Finley? You look distressed.
Oh, this
Yes, little Lazarus, would you like another drink?
No. There's no time for another drink. This is it. You say you are the collective. You are the hive mind. What are you the collective for?
Well, that is something that we cannot necessarily say to the likes of you, though. The mask has already come off a little bit.
Say you represent the things that go bump in the night.
We represent one of the things that go bump in the night, one of the things that go, and, well, I believe we're all among friends here.
Grandfather was not crazy.
No.
What's Blackwell doing?
He's just standing there, actually. You can't see his expression.
Are you alright, Father Blackwell?
He'll be fine. He's taking a sabbatical, if you will.
Done the same to him as you did to these two. Nodding to Robert and Gabriel.
No, I would never drink priest blood.
What's so special about this chalice? Is it powerful or sentimental?
Both. And with the right ingredients, can serve Gwen's needs. We only really seek to reclaim what was ours. We only really seek to bring forth the rightful prince and king and ruler of...
Keep going. I'll turn my camera
Just the
off
looks
so
you're giving
the
me.
resident BTM player doesn't, ruin
No,
the
you're
surprise.
fine. You're fine. Okay, where was I? We only seek really to bring back the true prince of England, the true king, true ruler. In dark times, we all search for a light in darkness. So was the reason for the court and the everlasting nights. Stories you have all heard, I'm sure. Freddy,
Yes. Hello. I am alive.
we come back to you now. Next one that you come across is a chalice,
Oh, alright.
and is written in just Old English.
Okay. What's it say?
A translation, because I'm not going to try and speak it in Old English. The Cup of Arthur.
Neat. Okay. Cool. Puts that in the yes pile because Arthurian legends, every person who lives in England kind of grows up with them, and Freddie grew up there. And it's like, well, I mean, and if it looks to be, of that time period.
Oh, it very much does. You look at it and you realize that this make is of when the legends would have taken place. They're old. Very old.
Alrighty then.
It has kind of like an iron smell to it, but looks to be something dried, something like a scab.
Well, she does carry a pocket knife. Can she kind of wiggle under the scab with the pocket knife?
You pull it off, and it's just this fleck of... Turn it over, and it's still red. Is it paint? Or is it something else?
Well, smell it.
Or you sniff it, and it smells like blood.
That's a nope.
Back downstairs.
What is Gwen up to these days? I haven't talked to her in a while.
You know, just reassembling the round table, doing all the stuff that she's always doing. Searching for artifacts, killing Nazis, all the fun stuff.
And where does she stand to when it comes to certain other groups my brother was affiliated with?
Well, she's on her own side.
Okay, so she's not working with Greenville, that's what I was trying to find out. I looked at Finley. I mean, we do want to make sure the Nazis don't get their hands on any of this.
Yes, but
Assuming we find it, could be a good way to help it disappear, assuming he even had it to begin with.
are you with Greenwheel?
Oh no, those fools of druids. Mages, all of them. Pretty bad at that too.
The side eye and stares from Finnick are very entertaining.
It's because Fennec knows where this crossover is going, but isn't saying anything. Just, I see it. Carry on.
This collective, the Hive, they make a great point, and they are being very gracious hosts to us. I mean, they were invited. Could I just trouble you for one last drink? Please, do me a favor. I could really go for a full glass.
A full glass. And he pours the whiskey again from the web into your glass.
Finley is going to look at Lizzie and at the same time look at the two unconscious dummies at the table and kind of motion for his head to get up.
Roll stealth.
As Finley just starts drinking, he's reaching for his lighter in his jacket.
I think as you're doing that, Lizzie will be like, and just to be sure,
I will spend the 27 to make that a success.
As you wish.
Will everyone be returned to as they were, even if we don't happen to find what you're looking for?
Absolutely. I really only seek information. And I also know that you're on Gwen's leash.
She doesn't say it either.
I'm surprised you haven't joined us yet.
Nope. Fireboy ain't talking no more. You are not tempting Lizzie to the dark side.
So, for some reason or another, this motion that you do, Finley, has been unseen. And Lizzie can choose to accept the motion or just keep going.
I don't know if she's standing up immediately, but she will shift to where she can stand up, as she says, I've only recently during this conversation become fully aware of Gwen's goals. We didn't quite get to working that close.
It is okay. We don't hold it against you. Though we hope to see you working with us one day. I know we've quite enjoyed working with Deckard. We're really hoping to find Gabriella. Oh well.
I believe Deckard passed, unfortunately.
You'll find that this world is never black and white like you wish it was. Are you going to spit that?
Oh, yeah. Finley's just, at that moment, all he thinks is, but it all burns just the same. And lights his lighter and just at where the webbing is.
Roll dexterity.
Happily.
I need a hard success.
Damn it.
Do you want to push it?
Yes, I want to push it.
What are you doing to push it?
Okay. When mentioning Deckard and working with Deckard, Finley wasn't really going to try to, like, aim as well, but he's really trying to, like, focus, like, how he's spitting it, so it's like a stream at first hitting the lighter, so it's going to repel from it. It's only a success.
Ugh.
So, you breathe this fire, and you see the webs ignite, and you hear screams from all around you as a hand from the darkness reaches out and grabs your mouth and pulls you into the shadow.
You'll have to forgive him. Deckard's his grandfather. He's a bit touchy about that subject.
I thought we were all having a good conversation. I offered you no ill will, though I could have taken what I wanted. I could have taken it and said nothing of it. You would never have known it was gone. Though I wanted to be courteous to the lord of this manor, to a friend of Gwen's, and yet you're a compatriot. We couldn't have one conversation.
I'm sorry, he's really impulsive, especially when he's been drinking. I'm so sorry for him. It's been a very trying day. I'm impressed that he's been able to. It's been a long day. We've learned a lot of unexpected things. He's not doing well. I should have told him to just get some rest upstairs, but I thought getting some food would be helpful. And I didn't want to come across as rude if I sent him back upstairs after learning you were here. And you know how it is.
Roll persuasion.
This is the best dark.
Hard success.
I would see that in these extenuating circumstances where you have faced off so much against the dark, that I should forgive this one. Though I'm not quite a fan of his grandfather, and I would see that his grandfather's spawn is cut off.
From what I've heard, his grandfather was the odd one out in the family. I promise he actually is a very courteous gentleman. Normally, he's just been having a particularly tough... I've honestly lost track of how long I've known him. It's not been very long, but it feels very long. he's been through his fair share of punishment. We all have. I do apologize for him.
He still bleeds.
Can I have him back, please? We might need him in the future.
And he drops unconscious in front of you. Just a little bit paler than normal.
Yeah, I just kind of move forward and do the, you still breathing, buddy? Start patting him in the face. Finley?
He'll be fine. He has fed one of the spiders. One of us.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to find what you're looking for and you'll be able to get on about your way. And I would like to part amicably tonight.
You speak well, little Amesley.
Lots of practice.
You know, your father wasn't all that bad.
You knew him?
Yes, no, I did know your father. And your grandfather. I kind of run in the family.
I've seemed to have missed that family story.
Perhaps you'll learn it one day. But you and Gwyn are a bit closer than you may think.
How so?
You don't want to know. Not yet. It's not useful to you yet. Plus, information with us, spiders, is very precious.
Understood. Well, hopefully this help might help smooth over some past complications and jobs I've done for Gwyn. I like to stay on her good side as well.
I'm sure you would. Now, go and grab it. We'll watch over your friends. Dark things gather outside the manor.
Will you refrain from drinking more from them while I'm gone?
Oh yes, I'm very controlled. Only in moderation.
I appreciate that, because they are also guests in this house, and as my brother's not here, I see it as my responsibility to take care of my guests, so I will be right back. I wiggle Finley over so he's at least like laying flat, not at an awkward angle. And then I just go up, I just like do the pat on the chest, step over him, go upstairs.
You go upstairs and the web is gone. You enter into the study where Gabriella and Freddy are.
Freddy, have you by any chance found a chalice that's from around the time of King Arthur?
Is this another Luke question, or you just points to the earthen cup?
Yes, no, that is the chalice that I want.
We have unexpected company downstairs, but I do believe that with this, I say as I pick up the cup, things should be well, and it's all good. We're just making new friends. I just turn and head back downstairs before you can ask any more questions.
As you head back downstairs, you feel definitely watched, but these are hopeful, watching eyes.
I would ask if I could roll something to figure out what this chalice is, but my occult is a 5, so...
I mean, you can roll it. I'm not saying you might get anything off of it.
I mean, you never know. I succeeded on a Cthulhu Mythos roll once.
Pheesh.
Nope. Asa, just taken just to walk downstairs, and I set it on one end of the table and just go back over to where Finley is to see if I can try again to wake him up.
Thank you, Miss Amesley.
You said there's stock forces gathering outside.
They gather like crows. You will be safe for the night. I'll make sure of it.
Appreciated. Should give us enough time to figure out what the rest of the things are and figure out our next steps. I'm glad I was able to help, and I'm glad for your help as well.
That's weird coming from humans. Gratitude. Huh. Oh well. You have a wonderful night, little Amesley. we will be going now. And just as mysteriously as this creature entered into your house, all the lights are back up, and you feel like the darkness that was over you, it wasn't truly real.
It's like kind of like it doesn't fully erase, but certain details just get really blurry.
Yeah, certain details in the darkness get blurry.
Lizzie's just gonna go back to trying to wake people up.
You start rousing people, and they make their checks for the night. Nope, nothing on that one? Damn.
Nope. Yes, I'm aware the World of Darkness crossover is coming.
They all awake. They're all fine. Just a little tired. And after a meal with everybody, Gabrielle and Freddy come downstairs. Everybody seems to be doing fine. And while you feel like outside of this house, there is something gathering. You see a crow outside. You also feel safe within the house. At least for this night.
You have been listening to Beyond the Crumbling Veil, a Call of Cthulhu 7e actual play podcast by Styx Helix Productions, as part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. If you're enjoying this show, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes or Podchaser or wherever you're listening to help other people find this lovely spooky tale. Beyond the Crumbling Veil is DM'd by John Voman of Styx Helix Productions, with Brian as Finley Jaeger Lazarus, Ian Ramos as Gabriella Slaughter, Fennec Foxfire as Frederica Newman, and Brianna Jean as Charlene Elizabeth Amesley. The show is also produced by Brianna Jean. If you don't want to wait to find out what happens next, you can get early access to our episodes by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. You can also find out more information about our other shows at pseudonymsocial.com and support our various productions.